So yeah, NASCAR most brutally honest driver. Then I saw the news recently, like one of the biggest NASCAR driver died, Kyle Busch, right? Which I've seen the name in a few videos about NASCAR that we watched, I mean, on the channel and that I've watched outside of the channel. He was only like 40 something, I think. Pneumonia, I think it was. Kind of crazy. Maybe I should watch a video about him eventually. The new God of War game trailer. I haven't. I'm holding off on all the trailers because for the week it will be Summer Game Fest. And I think at the end of the week, or after it's finished, I'll do like a stream checking out all the trailers that seem interesting. Though today I reacted to Ace Combat 8 trailer, yeah. Did dog exist in Dinosaur Era? I mean, I'm pretty sure not, because dogs are like evolution of wolf, right? And wolf showed up like way after dinosaurs and all that, right? Yeah, probably not 2 weeks ago. So yeah, this is NASCAR Most Brutally Honest Driver by Rogator.
What was your thought about Keselowski's little declaration?
Who?
Wait, that's the guy that I was just talking about, right?
This is Kyle Busch. If he doesn't like...
Okay, well, here we go, yeah. Rest in peace, I guess, since we decided.
Like you, he'll let you know. If the fans didn't like something he said, he won't care. If you're being a complete menace on the racetrack around him, he'll tell you straight to your face. And this is exactly what has caused the entire NASCAR fan base to completely split between loving or hating him. The Coke 600 is one of the few NASCAR races that holds prestige over most of the others. This is called a crown jewel, and winning one of them is a big deal. Like, a really big deal. And so when Kyle Busch finally passed Martin Truex Jr. on the final lap of 2017's edition, he imagined it would be the pass he'd need to make for the win. But this wasn't like any other race. This specific race ended on fuel strategy, meaning Austin Dillon saved enough fuel to make it to the end without pitting, and Busch hated the fact that he lost the race in that way. I'll admit, seeing the guy in your windshield win off of pure strategy and not speed as you're closing in on him probably hurts than most people would understand. So after the race,
Orange? Do you mean like blue because I put you as mod so you could share links? That's what you mean, maybe?
Kyle stayed in his car, took a moment to collect himself, and prep for post-race interviews. But as more and more time passed, Busch would only grow more annoyed as he reflected on what exactly he just missed out on. And by the time he arrived to speak with the media, he displayed not a single care in the world to answer anything.
And were you surprised that Austin could stretch it on fuel? And then, I mean, what does it mean, do you think, for Austin to get his first win?
I'm not surprised about anything. Congratulations.
And bro, let's not lie.
I'm not surprised,
I'd be salty
motherfucker.
too if I just lost to Austin Dillon. You get to pull into the pits while he celebrates on the front stretch and dabs on your ass.
Okay.
It's like getting killed by a kid in Fortnite and they just start doing a whole emote performance over your body. Oh my god, wait. Austin Dillon plays Fortnite. Now it's all making sense. But at least they're teammates now. I don't really know if that's a good thing. I just felt like saying that. But what about the time they repaved Atlanta Motor Speedway? NASCAR drivers loved this speedway because the surface was extremely old, and that made it one of the most challenging tracks in terms of dealing with tire wear and grip. When they repaved the track, they added higher banking, and now it can be best described as Talladega's little brother. There's no resemblance between the new and old versions, so when a reporter asked Kyle Busch if he liked the track now, this is what he said.
This type of racing.
Oh, you managed to get me red. In YouTube comment section, reference about you look orange, okay. I don't know.
Is it making you more an entertainer than a driver?
Yep. You like this version of Atlanta better than the old one?
Nope.
To be fair, Atlanta did go from a driver's track to one that seemed to be designed with entertainment in mind, and my gosh was it entertaining. NASCAR's 2023 race here was one of the top races of the season. The end of stage number 1 was very intense, and it's everything you should want to see as a NASCAR fan. Some lapped cars in NASCAR are just extremely slow, and one of these drivers was Garrett Smithley, where Kyle Busch did not expect for him to sit in the middle of the racetrack. He almost wrecked just trying to avoid such an obstacle, and when he smashed Smithley's rear bumper, it completely destroyed his splitter. Ironically, this contact made his car drive as slow as a tortoise, just like the number 52 who was in his way to begin with, and he dropped from 10th to finish 19th place, completely ruining his day. So when the time came for interviews, Busch...
I mean, I have finally played a racing game in like the first time in freaking like since PS2, I think. Like Forza Horizon 6, I played it last week. I played cracked, so I didn't play online or anything. One day I'm hoping to buy it so I can play online. One day. It was pretty fun, yeah. I just wanted to try it at first, just for the sake of it. Also, what is it with game being like 150 gigabytes these days, but that's something else. Yeah, it was kind of fun. I mean, I don't think I was very good because I was playing with AI and I played on like average difficulty, but I kind of liked it. Maybe it's like the setting that helps. I don't know. I think one thing I really enjoy about it sometimes was like less the racing. In the game, there's like collectible, I guess, and some of them you just need to like look at the minimap and drive onto them. But then there was a few that were like you had to do like some kind of trick jumps where they would put like an XP board at the top of like a bunch of rocks, and you had to like scour the terrain to find like, you know, there was multiple things that looked like it could make you do a jump, but it was still like you need a precise, you know, like ramp, I guess, and so you would have to figure out like which one to take and what speed and what car. I thought that was kind of fun. I almost enjoyed that more than the race, because most of the race, at least against the AI, was just me like bumping into them, and that's it. Mario Kart only. The best racing game using AI. I mean, AI is definitely something that could be good for like the AI in racing game. Obviously, like the AI in racing game so far has been like it's not a true intelligence. It's like a programmed intelligence, you know, like the way we've all talked about AI for a long time in games is not the same as like an actual AI. So it could be interesting. It could be interesting. Yeah. AI generated maps. I guess that's also an option. Yeah, like you could just take like Google map of your town and then tell the AI to make a map of your town and make a race there, I guess. That could be kind of fun. Maybe.
Told it exactly how it was.
Happened there with the 53, they're late.
52, get it right. Don't know.
Or what happened there at the beginning of the race?
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
You feel okay about your chances overall?
Don't care. Just here so I don't get fined. I'm answering the dumbest questions over
Get fined for not talking to the reporter? You can get fined for that?
and over again. Am I good? We're at the top echelon of motorsports, and we got guys that have never won late model races running out here on the racetrack. It's pathetic. They don't know where to go.
It's somewhat similar to the time where Brad Keselowski doored him off turn 4 at Martinsville in an effort to finish second place. In hindsight, this contact was very pointless, and they collided again after the checkered flag, which caused Busch to go on a tangent.
Well, he drills my ass coming out of 4
He
for no
drills
reason.
my
I mean,
ass.
where was he going? What was he going to do? Spin me out? He was trying to do a Harvick is what he was trying to do. For what? For second place? So stupid. I've already had to pay enough fines in my lifetime. I'm sure I'll get another one.
Honestly, I have to agree.
I mean, Forza Horizon 6 does like the, you don't actually have to look the map, you have like arrows guiding you on the road itself, which is what you're looking at anyway, and the arrows have like different colors on when you need to brake or turn, so, you know, I think they figured out the way to not have you look at the map.
With Kyle Busch. This is only something that should be happening in a NASCAR video game. Like, where was bro going? He could have just been a few years early and wall-righted the final turn to win the whole race. But anyways, that finish was crazy and everyone remembers it because of how viral it went. But did you know Kyle Busch was actually part of one of the most iconic finishes in NASCAR history? This finish was epic. Larson ran Busch into the wall in the final lap, so for the 18, anything goes in the final corner. He pushed the 42 too hard into the corner.
Hit by a car, I mean, I got my foot driven over once, didn't break anything by chance, and one time I was like biking as a kid, and I was like in a slope on the right side, and as I turned, there was like some guy that comes up behind me with his car, and I don't know if he did it on purpose or he didn't see me, but he really hugged the right side of the road, and you know, he clearly didn't care, so I basically like just fell into the grass on the side. That's about it. That's about it.
Used this wall to help turn his car and sailed to victory only to hear boos rain down from the grandstands. But why? This finish is what NASCAR is all about. Well, okay, I'm not gonna waste your time, I'll tell you exactly why. Remember how I said in the start of this video that NASCAR fans either love or hate Kyle Busch? Well, the average NASCAR fan certainly liked Larson more than Busch. So, great finish, bad winner. The funny part is Larson wasn't even mad. After the finish, he pulled up next to Busch and gave him a thumbs up. So when Busch heard the crowd's response, he mocked them because yes, that that finish was indeed crazy good.
If it wasn't for lap traffic, it wouldn't even have been a race. I don't know what y'all are whining about, but if you don't like that kind of racing, don't even watch.
That famous quote from Talladega Nights,
"If you ain't first, you're last."
is Kyle Busch in a nutshell, especially considering how much he despises second place. Busch had a miserable truck race at Charlotte, but he was able to rally back to finish second. But as we saw earlier, second place is just the first loser. So although the rally through the field was impressive, he gave all the credit to
In Japan, bikes need to run road for cars, but it's not wide and dangerous.
himself and absolutely none of it to his pit crew.
You gotta be kidding me. We lose 6 spots every time coming down, and you guys can't figure out how to jump off the wall.
Can you talk about how you made your way back to the field?
Pure talent. That's about it. My pit crew did absolutely nothing to help me out tonight. My
Wow.
truck drove like you can't pass in traffic, you can't race alongside
He's even trashing his own team. He said fuck, maybe, yeah.
anybody. You can't get within 5 truck lengths of no one, but somehow, some way, I was able to get back to the front. Had a blast.
So Kyle wasn't a fan of his truck that day, but he also hated NASCAR's Car of Tomorrow. Very goofy name, just like the goofy spoiler on the back of all the cars. Man, nothing screams stock car like pimping it out to look like it belongs in this scene from the Cars movie. To be fair, the stock cars in the sport were having an identity crisis because every manufacturer looked the exact same, and there were definitely no real-life cars that had any resemblance to these. But perhaps something worse than the way they looked was the way they drove. Busch won the first ever race in a Car of Tomorrow, and he said they completely sucked to drive.
I'm still not a very big fan of these things.
Didn't Dylan Hart, like, he hated restrictor plate, and yet he was the best at it or something? I guess this guy is kind of similar, yeah.
Can't stand to drive when they suck.
You probably didn't know that Kyle Busch was once accused of wrecking on purpose. The spin in question was this one on lap 2 at Watkins Glen. Reporter Bob Pockris didn't know that there was actually contact here, and so he asked Busch if he regretted spinning and getting into it with Byron last week. Busch proceeded to say,
Bob? Well, let me ask you this.
Busch has been racing in NASCAR for over 20 years now. He's raced with the likes of Mark Martin, Jimmy Johnson, Dale Jr., but now he races with Ross Chastain, Joey Logano, and Ty Gibbs. Over the years, there's been a clear mentality shift from NASCAR drivers where it's all take and no give. So after all of this dirty racing, Kyle Busch finally went on a rant.
Now you're going down the right path, as we have completely lost any sense of respect in the garage area between drivers. There was an etiquette that once did live here. I mean, it did exist. That's gone.
But again, there's no lies detected. Most race fans could agree to these statements, that overall NASCAR's dirtier than what it used to be. Now that
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't watch obviously, but it sounds like a good thing to me. Like, well, dirty, you know, they're not shooting each other, but it sounds like it's more competitive that way, right? Like, you are just an opponent and I will destroy you. But maybe people enjoy that aspect of the, like, respectful, you know, respect in sport can be cool. Sportsmanship, as people call it. I don't know. In sumo, there's that debate all the time. You know, like Enka is a big one. I always talk about it, but in sumo, you know, you start by 2 guys running into each other, right? And it's like the classic start. But sometimes, and it's an allowed technique, there's something called an Enka. So like one guy will charge and the other guy will just dodge, letting the other guy like just fall. And that's kind of like something that's always debated as like, you know, the most disrespectful thing to do, and you know, it should be banned and all that, even though it's been in the rules for like forever, right? And it's people talking about like, you know, the sportsmanship. You're supposed to take the initial charge, the tachi, but yeah, I feel like in every sport there must be stuff like this. I always feel mixed about it. Like, I enjoy sportsmanship, but I also enjoy like when people really either hate each other or like they really like aren't friendly with their competitors and are really just doing everything to win within the rules. I mean, I can enjoy both sides of it.
drivers aren't fully to blame, you can also look at the racing package that bunches everyone closer together than ever before, as well as the playoffs and stages that put points on the table at all times. There's a lot to gain, but also a lot to lose if you don't shift your driving style to be greedy. Greedy, greedy, greedy. I know of a driver who's greedy. Brian Vickers was greedy while racing Kyle Busch for the win in the Nationwide Series. Approaching the final lap, Brad Keselowski was lurking in the shadows when Vickers was so tunnel visioned and not letting Busch pass. So he chased him to the bottom of the track and side drafted. And all of this happened while Keselowski was just easily able to pass on the outside. But ironically, this same exact thing happened in Busch's favor just a few years later. I'm sure you could guess that Kyle couldn't help himself from being brutally honest about this situation.
He hung up my right rear quarter panel, and the 88 just drove right by both of us on the outside because Brian Vickers was trying to slow both of us down. Just stupid. Unfortunately, you race with idiots, and I guess you'll have that sometimes.
So is it good or bad for NASCAR to have a personality like Kyle Busch? All I know is that it sure makes for quality entertainment. Hit subscribe so you can...
I mean, it's not even that bad. Maybe I'm just too used to the UFC, but like, he sounds very mal to me. But I guess if he's the one that stands out, it means that everybody else talks very like polite in NASCAR. But like, he hasn't really insulted anyone per se, except his own team. It doesn't sound that bad. Yeah, it really doesn't sound that bad. But it does sound like entertaining to listen to. Well, sounded.
Say you've been here before 100K and easily watch more videos like
that's it. I guess this video was made before he passed away, yeah. Once again, seemed like a character. I'd like to learn more about it. Yeah, 2 years ago. Good video. Rest in peace. Yeah, definitely a shame what happened to him.